You'll see that? Bullshit and philosophy. Everybody get it and read it. It's a follow-up to a book written in 1998, I think, by a guy named Harry Frankfurt. It's Hell Broke Lucy. How y'all doing? And about the art of bullshit. It changed the way I view media and information, and it's a little bit scary. We are ruled by bullshit. First, I want to say the commenters on these videos, y'all have some great conversations. Keep them up. Keep them up. Don't get angry with one another over misunderstandings. Save your rage for stupid motherfuckers that come in there with the ideas that are ruining our earth, that are ruining lives. Yeah, blast them motherfuckers, because they deserve no respect whatsoever. And you read the art of bullshit and philosophy, and you can learn. You can detect when someone is curious or when they're stating dogmatically that Adam fucked Eve and shit like that. It's really easy to detect early what the motive and drive of your opposite is. But y'all keep it up, man. I love it. Somebody said there was a conversation about whether or not we're a Christian tyranny in America. That's on how you look at it. No, it's not like England, where there's a Church of England and you do this. No, it's not out there bold. It's subtle. It's through bullshit. For example, listen to Morning Joe. Listen to how many times him and Mika say God. It's culturally indoctrinated. God, there's no necessity for God in any public conversation because there's no evidence of a God. A God is a personal belief. I mean, why don't he sit there and take the morning talk about his fucking dreams? You know, they're just as relevant to the goddamn news of the world as God. Okay, then we got this judge, a state attorney general down in Alabama, defying federal law that strikes down the ban on gay marriage. He has issued an order to disobey the government. This is only done through Christianity. Only through Christianity. Only through Christianity, you fucking Christians that are watching this. That's theocracy. It's subtle. We got the front of a secular government. But religion is the only goddamn reason that America had slaves. Religion is the only, Christianity religion is the only reason black people couldn't vote. And for the dingbats out there, Butt Cricket specifically, who says that Facebook pages, profiles, none of that matters, it's changing the world. It's changing the whole world. I put up an article yesterday that probably one person and all my friends had ever seen. It's in the 1920s. Whites attacked the richest black neighborhood in a particular city, maybe I forget which city, and killed 300 black people because they were black and they had been successful. That's 60 years after the war. They only find out on social media. Social media is where you can get the news. The news, the real history. That's right. We have a theocracy. Our 5 justices are Catholics. 5 of the Catholics. That's enough to make this a theocratic nation. Hobby Lobby's decision was treasonous. That's theocracy. No, it's not blatant, bold. You have to go to church. But in 7 states, you still can't hold office as an atheist. People shit down both legs if you don't mention God. Barack Obama, I believe, is an atheist. But he's politically smart, you know. You got to drop God here and there. You got to. Or the sheep in the country will go batshit. They somehow think that their relationship with their God is affected by what our fucking president, who's trying to lead 310 million people to success, says. Another thing I want to tune you into is a guy named Hugh Kramer. Some of you have heard of him, I'm sure. He's got a Facebook page. I think he's got a website. Check him out. He put up a 3-part article on Thomas Paine. This is critical to your knowledge of how this nation was formed, why it was formed. Thomas Paine was the most influential founding fathers, and 50% of historians don't even recognize him as a founding father. John Adams said that without the book Common Sense, which Thomas Paine wrote, Washington's sword would have been raised in vain. There would have been no revolution. Thomas Paine is the man that convinced America that we would never be able to have an amicable agreement with the theocratic tyranny of Europe. He is the one that convinced America and the rest of the founding fathers that we have to fight for our independence. Thomas Paine was an atheist. Christians lie about our founding fathers. Deists and atheists back then used the word creator. They hadn't heard of Charles Darwin yet. Nobody knew of evolution then. They knew it wasn't a God. They knew it wasn't any of these gods of religion. So with the knowledge that they had then, they put the general term creator. And our creator turned out to be evolution. Thomas Paine was an atheist. He was a working man. He was born in Europe, and he worked labor jobs. He wasn't an academic, but he was a writer. In simple terms, he laid it out plain. And he got a job on a Philadelphia newspaper writing. And he wrote a 50-page pamphlet, not even a book, 50 pages, called Common Sense. In 1773 or 4, that sold 1 million copies. 13 colonies sold 1 million copies. And it changed the world. It changed the world. It made the United States of America an atheist. Do the research. It's there. And when you got this research down, you are armed against any God-brain motherfucker that says we're a Christian nation. Now, Christianity started breaching the wall of separation in the very first election, very second, and in the second election especially. Third election, between Jefferson and Adams, they turned on one another. Jefferson was a deist. He despised the Bible. He ripped most of it out and wrote his own New Testament with morals in it. These are the things you need to learn. What this judge is doing in Alabama, if any common citizen did anything like that, you go to prison. You go to prison. That's all there is to it. Even secularists, atheists, forget that all of these actions are robbing the joy of individual lives. We are still looking at people as less than human, women as less than human. Got a bastard here in West Virginia that made the statement that, yeah, rape's horrible, but what a God-blessed baby. Yeah, and that woman's every time she looks at her baby, she's got to remember getting raped. And that baby will finally find out it never know who its dad is and what kind of monstrous genes run through itself. He had a politician of another Republican, of course. Politicians are the evilest motherfuckers in the world. No doubt. The Kim family in South Korea are just fucking ignorant. American Republicans are exposed to all the education you want. They're evil. His politician colleague come to his defense, said, it's so hard to have a conversation in America about rape because the liberals look at it one way. What the fuck is hard about having a conversation about rape? The only way it's hard is if you are mentally fucking twisted. It is a crime. Flat down crime. The woman should have a state-paid abortion for the product of a rape. Only in a God-brain, right-wing motherfucking America is it hard to have a conversation about rape. There's another conversation going on in the thread about his religion and mental illness. Well, it depends on when religion came around. Depends on the time through history. Wasn't a mental illness in 1000, 1500. You know, somebody tells you this spring over here will add 20 years to your life, and there's good reason to think it, and you go over and start drinking it, and nothing changes, and then evidence comes out that, no, it doesn't. Well, you weren't mentally ill before the evidence. To continue believing it after the evidence says otherwise is mental illness, okay? In 2015, the entire Bible has been proven as mythology. Genesis did not happen. Religion, if you get indoctrinated into that as a child to believe that Genesis happened, religion calls to that mental illness. If you are an adult who has been exposed to facts, education, and evidence and continue to believe the mythology, that is mental illness. That's my view. And I keep up with studies as they come out. Thomas Paine, others in the past, before evidence, before evolution, knew the Bible was bullshit through common sense. Okay? There's nothing wrong with making your own assessment. Even our medical studies are getting corrupted. There was a study that come out that says free thought is a mental illness. I read it. It's not bullshit. It's total shit. The sponsor to that, these doctors that put this report out, is either religion or corporations. I don't know which. What they did was they branded everybody from Aristotle through Thomas Paine, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, anyone with an idea that goes against the conformity of the masses as mentally ill. That's what the powers, that's bullshit. That is how the powers come in and take control of our minds. They want control of our minds. Us who will not be controlled, who will not conform, are the biggest danger to power in history and today. And I'm going to cut this in short because it's 0 degrees here in West, by God, fucking Virginia. My fingers are cold. Y'all keep it up. Keep rocking. Spread a word. See, today, through bullshit and media control, I could write a 50-page pamphlet of common sense and nobody would buy it. When Thomas Paine wrote it, the media didn't control everything. So a plainly stated book of pure truth changed the world. Now they won't allow it. That's why people like me and Hugh Kramer and other outspoken atheists and anti-religionists, we got to stick to personal videos, pages, shit like that. We won't get a seat on Morning Joe. Won't happen. The people still are the only reason that we're not under direct theocratic control. The people still matter, even though they're restricting voting rights. We still are the difference. Never forget that. Don't give up. Y'all broke loose. Oh, butt cricket. P.S. Y'all ignore this. This is childish. I made a video just for you. I put it on your link to one of your videos where you're doing nothing but talking about me. I know you need some attention. So it's over there. Find a computer. Go to a library somewhere. Because I know you can't access it on your almighty Samsung.